This week on Country Music Junkies, I have Elyse Saunders here. So happy to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me and asking me.
Well, Elyse is a Canadian country music artist originally from Peterborough, now living in Toronto. So for fans who are watching this who may not necessarily be familiar with their music, can you kind of give us a little bit of a background to how you got to this point and how your musical career kind of developed?
Well, actually, I've always had an interest in it since a very young age. My mom was a singer, a songwriter, nothing professionally, but she always had that big influence on me when I was younger.
Nice.
So it started out that way, that I always just had an interest in all kinds of arts and music in general. I've been writing and singing and performing since I can remember, but I actually, as I got older, I got a little more shy with performing in front of friends and stuff like that.
Okay.
So my mom actually was the one who kind of dared me and said, that I should join this singing competition that was at our school when I was 16. So I said that I would in grade 10.
Wow.
So I did that, and it surprised a lot of people because they had never really knew I could do that.
Right.
So that's where that started, and then I just started doing singing competitions to get used to the stage and in front of people, and then that was a lot of fun. Traveled around and got a lot of experience through that. And then I wanted to kind of take it a step further and more professional, so I wanted to do an album and that sort of thing. And there was a producer in my hometown who I'd met, Cyril Rawson, and we had went to Nashville and did some recording there, and I had a first album, all songs written towards me, and then we did a couple of releases from that. So that was a huge step and a big resume.
Absolutely.
Kind of a business card for me. And then I got to the point where I wanted to kind of be more creative and get into the writing process myself. And then since then, for a few years, I've been doing Nashville trips to do co-writing with some writers and also within Canada as well. And now I'm at the point where I wanted to create an EP with my own material and kind of showcase that and get back into radio releases and performing and that sort of thing. And then I had the opportunity to get with Factor and apply for that through many times, and then I was successful with that. So now I can actually complete a full album.
So for people who aren't maybe familiar with what Factor is, can you give us kind of a little bit of a background to how that works? Because that's great. You're able to now produce a full-length record. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure fans are really looking forward to hearing it. But how did the Factor process work, and what is it?
Originally, I had applied for a demo Factor grant, which is money that you can get from the government, and they help with the arts, all types of music. It's not just country music. And that was successful, and I was able to create a demo with that. So I just kind of started to get into it a little bit and kind of get my feet wet and that sort of thing. And then we applied to try for an album grant. And the album grant is sound recording, so they provide you with a bunch of money to create a 10-song album, and also they provide you with marketing and promotional money.
Okay.
And that's a federal government grant, so you're up against a lot of different musicians of all different genres, which is pretty cool. And you have to score within a certain, I think it's like above 80%, and that has to be the full package, including your material, like your music, your full package, and how you're marketing yourself. So
Awesome.
we made sure to do all of that properly, and Peter Linsman was a huge help with that. And we put the thing in, and we got it.
There you go. Well,
Finally.
congratulations. That's awesome. And that's really cool. So you kind of mentioned that your first album and the singles that you originally had were written for you. Now you are making this new album, and you're co-writing on all of the songs. How important is songwriting to you?
It's very important to me. Like I said, I've been doing it since I was so young, and I think it's important for myself to be able to get my messages, my experience, life experience, and out to people that hopefully I can help and inspire, and that's important to me. If I'm putting music out there, I want it to come from a real place, and I also want to try to use my words to help people.
Right.
So now I get the opportunity to do that, and working with some amazing co-writers, so I'm learning and also being able to get my stuff out there and express myself.
Awesome. Now, you said that the album, you said this off camera, but the album should be released kind of mid-summer. So what can fans expect to hear from that album? What sort of stories and messages can they expect?
It's going to talk a lot about, I guess, just not taking life too seriously, kind of, I guess, living in the moment and and being a positive kind of person, and just having empowering messages, and the fact that just kind of helping you through life difficulties. But also there'll be some fun stuff in there, and things about love and
excellent,
and maybe some party songs.
There you go. Good eclectic mix is always pretty nice. So obviously you'll start with a single release. When can we expect to hear that?
That will be sometime probably early April.
Excellent. All right, fans, be sure to look out for that. Now, Elyse, you're obviously part of the Country Music Association of Ontario. You are a member. How important do you think it is for artists from Ontario to have something like that, a platform to kind of share their music and be a part of an organization of artists and people in the country community in Ontario?
Well, I know that they have a few in Canada, so that's the first one that actually has opened up to Ontario artists. And we do have so many Ontario artists that are so talented. It's crazy. I don't know why we have so many in Ontario, but there is a ton. And so I think it's perfect for that. And they provide a lot of different things. Like they can provide different writers type of events where there's competitions to help you, I guess, get known as a writer and as a performer. And they also have the CMAO Awards, which is pretty cool. And it just brings attention to Ontario artists, which I think is great because, like I said, there's so much talent and it needs to be showcased and get out there. And it's pretty amazing. And you meet a lot of people as well. It's perfect for networking. They always have lots of different people of all skills. There's up-and-coming artists, but there's also people that have been in the business forever, managers, agents, all types of things. So you'll learn from everybody.
Well, excellent. So when we come back, we're going to have Elyse do a performance of one of the tunes that you'll hear off of her upcoming album. So Elyse, thank you so much for being here, and you guys stay tuned. We're back here with Elyse Saunders, and Elyse, we have a handsome gentleman on our left. Can you introduce the fans to this guy over here?
This is Peter Linsman. Actually, Peter is someone I've been working with towards the next album. So you'll hear some of his work on that soon.
Perfect.
And he'll be playing with me today.
Excellent. Now, Peter, I know you from the CMAO. You are one of the board of directors of the CMAO, which is awesome. But you and Elyse also work together in a charitable aspect, running an event called Warm Coats, Warm Hearts that I had the pleasure of being involved in this year. It is so wonderful finding coats for the underprivileged people in Ontario. So do you guys want to talk a little bit about that before we get started?
Yeah, well, first of all, just thank you so much for your input.
Thank you for your help,
contribution.
for sure.
It was just amazing, and bringing piles of coats and all the Toronto Maple Leaf swag and stuff that we were able to give away.
You brought so much amazing stuff.
Oh, you're so welcome. I was happy to do it.
And wonderful to work with you on the CMAO board as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Peter and I actually had started this kind of idea. It was something I had been wanting to do for a while. For a few years I had the idea, but I never really made it happen. And then it was, I guess, 2012 that we did it the first year, and I didn't know what I was doing actually at all. So I was just kind of going and doing it, and we had 1 month, I think it was, again, because I didn't know what I was doing, 1 month to plan all this.
Oh, wow.
You know, thank God I knew what I was doing.
And
Okay,
Peter
Peter
was a huge help. Like we did it. Where was it? The Orbit Room.
Okay.
And it was a really good success considering it was 1 month and it was just a smaller, intimate setting.
Right.
So I was really happy with how it turned out, and we were able to get lots of coats. And then this year, the past one that we did in 2013 was even better, which I was hoping for, that would just keep growing. And then I needed Peter's help for sure, so we partnered up and did even more together and made this happen. We brought in lots of different artists that I've done shows with and that I think are great. They're such supportive people and positive, and they kind of have the same belief system as me, and they were just so great at getting it out there, which is huge and a big part of it. And then we got yourself involved and a few other companies and people so that they could donate stuff to the cause, which was great. So many of the people that came out were excited to see those things and get them, and all in for the support of getting coats. And there, we end up getting, I think, was it close to 200 coats?
Oh my goodness.
This year.
Good for you
This
guys.
year.
And over the 2 years, we were figuring out it's about 300 coats to 300 different individuals in need and kids. And
That is
wonderful work.
awesome.
So the Warm
great
Coats,
idea
Warm Hearts
from Elyse.
benefit concert is something I'd like to try to do every year. I'm not sure, hopefully forever. and hopefully it'll just keep growing, and then I can get more and more people on board and get more and more coats. And we were able to provide them for Jessie Center, which is for teen moms and young mothers and their kids.
Excellent.
And then we also were able to provide to New Circles, which is more for new families to Canada that are that don't have the proper clothing for winter time. And then we also had Eva's Initiatives, which helps the troubled youth and homeless youth. So it was pretty cool.
Wow.
And cutting a new video for the song Warm Christmas that we wrote for
Warm Christmas was for the benefit concert.
And proceeds from the sales of that song go to the warm coats as well. So
that is
you're
great.
able to look that up.
Yeah, I have lots of videos
iTunes?
on YouTube, and that one is on there, so they can check that
Cool.
out. It's a little music video for it.
Fans, be sure to check that out on Elyse Saunders on YouTube. I guess, is that the best YouTube link?
Yeah,
for them to check out?
youtube.com/Elyse Saunders.
Excellent. We'll be sure to check that out, fans. And Elyse, just before we get into the performance, I don't want to hold you up anymore, but if fans want to connect with you via social media or online, how can they do that?
Actually, Twitter is a great one because I'm always updating that. Facebook,
Excellent.
I do have a Facebook artist page. It's facebook.com/Elyse Saunders online. And then also if they just Google Elyse Saunders, there is another person with Elyse Saunders on it. She's a model, but I'm not the model, I'm the artist. So just people ask me that all the time. And I'm like, no, I just do the artist thing. So
and that's actually important to differentiate because of this model's type of modeling.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah, so I have lots of different social media sites, so you can look there. I'll be updating my website soon as well, so they can see the new material when it's out, and they can go to iTunes and get all that stuff.
Excellent. Well, fans, be sure to check her out. I'll leave it to you guys. And what song are you going to be performing?
We'll be doing Just Like Mama. It's going to be a song on the album.
Excellent. Fans, check it out.